Your international trip is less than 14 days away and you don't have a valid passport. You may still have time to get one, but you need to use the official urgent travel process. A post office appointment or a regular expedited service is unlikely to get you your passport before your trip. You also can't simply just show up to a passport agency. You need an appointment for that. I'm going to walk you through how to get into that appointment system, whether you've already applied or not. I'll also show you how to make it through the entire process so you know what to expect, what to do if the website has no appointments, exactly what to bring to your appointment so you're not turned away, what urgent service is going to cost you, whether you can expect to receive the passport the same day, and when using a registered passport courier may save you a long drive, even a flight to an agency, and in doing so, save you some money. First, you got to make sure you qualify. Urgent travel service is only available when you're traveling international within 14 calendar days or within 28 calendar days if you have to obtain a foreign visa before the trip. And weekends, they count. It's 14 calendar days, not 14 business days. If you're outside of that window, you can't book an urgent passport agency appointment yet. I have a separate guide that's going to help you choose between routine and expedited service based on your travel date. I'll link to that here. Also, life or death emergencies involving an immediate family member abroad, that's a completely separate process, which I've linked in the description below. But if you're inside that urgent travel window, the first question is, have you already submitted your passport application? If you haven't submitted the application yet, use the State Department's online passport appointment system. You go to travel.state.gov, select Get My Passport Fast, and choose the option to make a new appointment at a passport agency. You're going to enter your travel date, you're going to indicate whether you need a foreign visa, you're going to verify your email address, add a phone number, and then you get to search for the available appointments. Now, a quick clarification here. You are not limited to an agency in your own state, which is great, because many states don't even have one. There's only 27, and they're primarily located on the coasts and in big cities. However, that means depending on where you are in the country, the nearest available appointment may require a long drive, a flight, or travel across state lines. Once you've selected an appointment, you got to complete the reservation before the temporary hold timer expires. If it does, your spot goes back in the pool and you got to start all over again, and it may not be there anymore. Know that the State Department doesn't charge you to make the appointment. And also, you don't want to pay anyone who claims to be selling government appointment slots. This is different from a registered passport courier service or an expediting service. Some of these private couriers are registered with the State Department. That means they can submit applications and pick up completed passports at the specific agencies where they're registered. Later, I'll explain when using one might actually be the right move and cost less than traveling to an agency yourself. Now, real quick, if you're someone who already applied and your passport has not arrived yet, your route is different, and this part is quick, so stick with me. If you've already submitted, don't submit another application. Don't try to make an appointment online. You're going to call the National Passport Information Center at 1-877-487-2778 and have your application locator number ready. The representative can contact an agency that's processing your application, and they can try to schedule an urgent appointment if there's not enough time before your trip. Now, an appointment's not guaranteed in this case, but calling is the correct and only route once your application is already in process, after you've already submitted it. So, regardless of whether you're booking online or calling about an existing application, the next big challenge is the same. What do you do if you can't get an appointment you can realistically get to? What if you can't find an appointment at all? If the online system or the operator you talk to doesn't offer an appointment near you, you got to expand your search. You can use any regional passport agency in the entire country, so check every location you could physically get to. Availability is constantly changing. These appointments can reopen whenever another travel cancels theirs, so you can always check again if you don't have luck the first time, but cancellations are totally unpredictable. Despite what you may hear or read online, there's no reliable like midnight, midweek, or 8 a.m. appointment release trick that's going to guarantee you land one of these. It's pretty random when and where they pop up. If you can't get an appointment or the only available ones require long drives or last-minute flights, that's when it makes sense to compare the trip with using a registered passport courier. Even if you can get an appointment, traveling to an agency means you got airfare, gas, tolls, parking, a hotel, time away from work. You may also need to wait several hours or return the next day to pick up the passport once it's been issued. You got to account for all this. Yes, a registered courier does charge a service fee, but they can submit and retrieve your application through any agency where that company is registered. That can get you access to additional agency locations and save you the time and money associated with having to make that trip yourself. To be clear, a courier can't make the State Department process your passport faster than a direct urgent appointment can. The value is actually the convenience and support, not a faster government processing speed. Ultimately, you want to compare a courier's total fee with the full cost and time involved in reaching an agency entirely on your own. Before choosing a company, confirm that it appears on that State Department registered courier list, and check exactly what is advertised for turnaround time and what kind of support they offer. We maintain a directory of registered passport couriers and explain how we review them. I've linked it in the description to help make this process simpler for you. So now moving on to appointment day. If you're going, you need to know what to bring. Whether you go to the agency yourself or if you use a courier, your application package has to be complete. If you're attending the agency appointment yourself, you're going to bring a printed copy of your appointment confirmation. You're also going to need that printed proof of international travel. So for air travel, that normally means a flight receipt or itinerary showing your name and the departure date. For travel by cruise ship, bus, car, or another boat, your proof can include tickets, hotel reservations, international car insurance, or just other documents that show when and how you're leaving the United States. The rest of the application package depends on which form you're using. If you're renewing with Form DS-82, the standard renewal form, you're going to bring the completed form, your most recent passport, one passport photo, and if your name is changed, you've got to bring the original or certified copy of your legal name change document, not just a photocopy. If you're applying with Form DS-11, you've got to bring the completed but unsigned application form. Also, your original proof of U.S. citizenship plus a copy, a physical government-issued photo ID and a photocopy of that, both the front and the back, and you still need one passport photo. If you're applying for a child, you're replacing a lost or stolen passport, you're reporting a damaged passport or changing your name, bring all the additional forms and supporting documents required for your specific situation. The Passport Pathfinder tool on our website will help you sort out those specifics and provide the correct forms and documentation you need to use. I'll put a link to that in the description too. There's one big caveat here. If you're applying with Form DS-11 through a courier, you do have to appear at a passport acceptance facility, like a post office or a library, to have your documents reviewed, your signature witnessed, and the application sealed before the courier submits it on your behalf. Now, no matter what application you choose, you also need to account for the government fees. For an adult passport book, the application fee is $130. Add the $60 fee to expedite it, and the basic government total is $190. Your total will be different if you're applying for a child, a passport card, a book and a card together, or any optional delivery services to speed things up. Also, if a DS-11 application must first be executed at a post office, library, or another acceptance facility, you're going to need to budget for a $35 acceptance fee that you're going to pay there as well. You can use the State Department's fee calculator to confirm the amount for your specific application, or just check out our passport fees tables. I'll throw that in the description below as well. So once you have all your materials, what happens at the agency itself? Well, you got to plan your route, where you're going to park, how you're going to access the building. Do all that before you go. Then you got to plan to arrive at least 15 minutes early to allow time for security. Make sure you got a government-issued ID handy so you can enter the building with it. After security, you're going to check in with your appointment confirmation number. You're going to receive a new number, and you're going to wait till you're called by that number. You're going to go to the appropriate window. The agent's going to review your application, your proof of travel, your identification, your citizenship evidence, your passport photo, and all the supporting documents. If everything's complete and accurate, the agency will tell you when and how you will receive your passport. Some travelers are going to receive that passport later the same day. Others receive it at a later date or through another delivery method. Getting a passport the same day is possible when the departure date is extremely close, but it's not a sure bet. Also, an early appointment doesn't guarantee a passport's going to be issued that afternoon. It may help, no promises. If something is missing or incorrect, the agency may not be able to process the application at all. Definitely not that day. That can mean losing the appointment slot and having to schedule another appointment after you correct the problem. Going to want to avoid that. Now, once you do receive that new passport, check every detail before you leave. Make sure your name, date of birth, place of birth, gender marker, and expiration date are correct. It's much easier to address the error at the agency while you're there than at the airline counter later. When it comes to urgent passport appointments, your correct route depends on whether you've already applied and whether you can reach an available passport agency. Once you know that, the rest comes down to arriving with the correct form, documents, photo, fees, and proof of travel. For help comparing registered passport couriers to handle this for you, use the directory link below. And if you leave a question, throw it in the comments, and I'll be there to help. Safe travels.